Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 23, The Reunion, Part 3. If you were new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows as well as scripted shows. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, well, welcome back. So, we don't have any comments from last week, so we're going to jump right in. So, Lisa, she is trying her best to get back on Meredith's good graces and apologizing for, saying that she was sleeping with half of New York, that her family is posers, and that Seth cannot keep a job. And I was like, that's what Seth do is just jump around with the job. It's not like Seth is sitting at home playing the video game or Seth is sitting at home in the pool. Seth is off going to different jobs in different locations. I told y'all that last week, and if y'all didn't see that video, it's in my playlist. I said that both my uncle and my brother did jobs similar to that. My uncle first, like 20 some odd years ago, he would be in a job for a certain location for like a certain amount of time. Then it's like, okay, the job is done there. We're sending you here. Same thing with my brother. My brother worked from age 17. I think he was at that job for like maybe 12, 13 years at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Started when he was in high school. They just kept him on. And then he worked for like 13 years. Then, a lot of people in that department got laid off. So it's like, okay, after he got his little, severance pay and all that stuff, it's like, okay, what am I going to do? And he got hooked up with this job where he would go to a location for about a certain amount of time, then go somewhere else. He went to Chicago, then he ended up going to Vegas. Then it's like, oh, he got another opportunity in Vegas, and he decided to stay in Vegas. So it's not like that Seth cannot keep a job. Seth does not keep a job in that one location for a long period of time. I ain't like that. And then she's like, well, somebody said you was talking about my house. So us being good friends of over 10 years, you heard a rumor, and then you decided to spew all this, excuse me, all this ugliness about me and my family, called us posers and all that other stuff. Girl, I'm gonna need you to sit down somewhere. When did they have time to tell you that? Because you left that table mad because Meredith wasn't jumping on your side, and then you went to your room and you started talking about that woman. Oh, this coffee is so good. I was trying to. I made a cup of coffee yesterday. And I was like, oh my goodness, this coffee is so good. But I wasn't paying attention to how much of the instant coffee I put in my cup because I paused. I had a coffee maker, still had that coffee maker, but it is so big and bulky. And I was like, no, I'm going to just start using instant coffee like my grandma used to do back in the day. And I've loved this ever since. But I was like, I don't remember how much coffee I added and how much sugar that I added. But like, I made the perfect cup of coffee. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's not too sweet. It's not too coffee. It is just right. But y'all ain't even here for all that. Where are we at? Okay. When Andy asked Whitney how much her children's saving did she spend to rebrand her business, and she was like, "Well, it wasn't just with the rebranding. A bulk of the money went to buying her business partner out." Justice says that the savings account was liquid, and that gave them enough money to buy a cabin. It wasn't their entire savings. Now, I don't know money talk in lingo like that, but like, is he talking about like an actual cabin, like a log cabin or something like that, or is a cabin something to do with money? Like I said, I don't know like money about that. But Whitney says that you know, doing it. Ooh, let me see that because I was just looking like a pure head, just head and a little bit of shoulders. Whitney says they are up 540% since last year, and Heather's like, yeah, because I hold her products in my beauty lab, and they sell out every time. But that's one thing Heather gonna do. She is gonna plug the beauty lab. I appreciate about that because best believe if I was on a reality show and I had a business, you best believe I would be talking about it all of the time. But I don't think I could be on a reality show because my facial expressions and some things I just don't think I would be able to do. I'm not gonna say something that that's not how I really really feel. I just couldn't do it. Okay, where we at? For Sharif, they talked about how when Jen was getting she got a call from Sharif. He was in the hospital. He said that he had been dealing with some personal issues and he was getting an exam. his assistant called Jen or something like that. They had talked, and then like 25 minutes later, he was getting a call from Homeland Security, and he gets home and he sees law enforcement like with weapons on his sons. Like that is one thing that I was like, I have four nephews, and I am scared. One of them will be 18 soon, and the other one he'll be what? He'll be like four soon. And my middle nephews, they are teenagers now, or one of them will be teenager next month. I was like, I'm fearful of that, and I was like, I couldn't imagine, coming home and like the law enforcement officers have guns out or either pointed at your children. I just cannot. But the thing is, the clip that they showed of G, and they said that she was going to the hospital. Sharif said that he had been having some bleeding and it was an ongoing thing. He and Jen like was going back and forth because he didn't want to go to the doctor. And I guess he finally did go to the doctor. But I'm like, if this was stressful, why didn't you go straight to the hospital where he was supposed to be at? You went straight home. But Jen says that as she was rolling down the street, that's when they like swarmed her car, took her to a courthouse, was like, hey, A, B, C, and D. I would have been freaking out. I've been like, what happened? What's going on? Because I have not done anything illegal. I have not jaywalked. I have not ran a red light. I haven't sprayed a kitten with water. I haven't laughed at an old person fall. I haven't done anything. So why are y'all doggone trying to arrest me? But she ain't gonna go into very much details of what's going on, which I don't blame her on that one. But she is upset that the girls were speculating and talking about where she wait a minute. The girls were speculating where she had been doing with her life. And I was like, yeah. They talked about how she was flat at all these expensive stores and how she hopped out of an Uber car that Heather had got her. But she mad the girls was talking about her. But I'm like, you done talked about just about everybody on the show. But you mad that they talking about you? Anyways. Whitney apologized for speculating that Jen was up no good in her business dealings. On the blush, she explained what it sounded like, where they target vulnerable people and they're putting them on like a monthly payment subscription that they either don't know how to get out of or can't get out of, and they just cashing in that money each month. She's like, well, how would you feel if people were questioning Justin? I was like, wasn't they talking about that like a few months ago that he had some like semi-fraudulent or could be fraudulent going on, allegedly going on? But Justice is that a few years ago, his name was brought up in like a Ponzi scheme or like a pyramid scheme or some kind of scheme going on. But they was able to determine he didn't have anything to do with it. But still, every once in a while, they'll pop up that his name is out there, and they've been trying to like fight it so people are no longer talking about him having to do with it. Then this is where she as the only brown girl on the show married to a black man, obviously they have to be committing crime to live in the lifestyle that they live. Coach is a D1. When she says Coach has 3 degrees, and he was an attorney for over 10 years, and he's a D1 coach, and he used to be some kind of agent. Says, those agents make a lot of money. And I was like, I don't know anything about sports at all. Every once in a while, the news will pop on. This athlete is making so many $1 million a year. I don't know how much the coaches are making. I don't know how much the agents are making. I don't know any of those things at all. But I just know that the lifestyle that Jen, lives, y'all got to be making money, 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 money. Because we've seen when she had threw that party for Meredith that was really for herself, she was spending $80,000 like it was nothing. It's just that like the lifestyle that you like are living, we just like we don't know where you getting this money from. And then Jen talking about Jen, if you don't want people bringing up how horrible you are to them. Stop being horrible to them. Point blank and a period. At one point on Watch What Happens Live, Whitney said that she thought that Jen had a sugar daddy. And that's how she is affording her lifestyle. Which Jen gets upset because that is hurtful to Sharif. Heather says she doesn't know whether Jen did it or not. She gonna stand beside her, but she believes Jen. I'm like, that's contradictory. But anyways, Meredith said, I don't know if she did it or if she didn't. Anything is possible. And that was basically what happened on this episode. Of course, Jen can't and or won't go into things on her, you know, the legal things she got going on and everything, being indicted and whatnot. But my thing is, we've spent more of this episode talking about Jen and her, money laundering and fraud than we did the entire season. We spent more time on whether Mary's church was a cult or whether Meredith lied about where she was before, during, and or after her father's memorial. We had several of the episodes after Jen got arrested for fraud. We talked about that for 2.5 seconds, but spent episodes on Mary and episodes on Meredith. But we wait to the reunion to talk about Jen. Anyways, y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome to. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. This free all day, every day, for $3.99. Make sure your notifications are on when my video Facebook a video. You can click on it, you can like it, and you share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.